Step into the healing and the hope that is here. As we remember the stories and songs that have been lost along our way, and know that you aren't standing alone anymore, on this land where generations have walked this journey before you. Find solace here, and rest easy knowing that you can let slip this burden and be covered by our Creator. Know that you are sacred, know that you are sovereign, and know that this is a place where people will sit at your feet and hear your story and your song. My name is Robert Young. I'm a Gunnai, Gunditjmarra, Yorta Yorta and Waradjurie artist. I live here in Melbourne and I've been practicing and creating art for the last 6 years. The story behind this artwork is that it has three elements to it: the cloak, the coolaman, and the canoe. And the standout part for me was the cloak, because I wanted it to be something that you wrap yourself in, but something that is protective. The cloak has different stories of people from Stolen Gens, and also my own stories and my own markings, that I wanted to create a place of healing and hope, but also one of protection and just resilience. The coolaman to represent the children that were taken away, and that children are still being taken away from families and from community. It being placed in front of the cloak is that our Creator is always watching over them, no matter where they are. And lastly, the canoe. No matter the rough life journey that we go on, the canoe is something that will always carry you down that river of life. The making process or journey was one of many conversations around the design and then the engineering and how we actually created. I had an incredible team of metal fabricators of Richie and Richie that really understood the vision and the heart, and I think the yearning desire to do this well as Tony, the stonemason, of creating the coolaman. How the cloak came to the initial shape that me and Richie decided on was how it would have looked being worn. It looks like there's actually shoulders within there, that there's actually that form and shape, that it isn't just a freestanding cloak, that it actually has this form or this presence, that there was somebody actually standing in there. How I worked with Richie in this way, which was different to many other projects, after Richie kind of created the shell of the cloak, I traveled up there and actually just draw the markings just on by hand. I said, this is how I want this piece, and covering it with my story and actually just creating those markings, and this is what would look good here, and actually being purposeful of, this is how the cloak sits in this space, and actually creating markings that represent that, but also having nice, strong, bold markings at the bottom and more lighter markings towards the top, kind of giving that lightness, but grounded in such strength. So with Tony, the process of creating the coolaman, it came from a 1-ton block of limestone, and Tony just sculpted it down with a coolaman from our family. I did some markings. I was like, I didn't want to kind of add any because the shape was just so beautiful. And as you will see there, that the markings are unfinished because the story in this journey for our young people is unfinished, and the story of healing for our past generations is unfinished of healing. What I've learned through this collaborative process is that the journey and the project is always bigger than you are. And no matter the dreams and the visions that you have as an artist, that culturally significant artwork that holds such deep meaning is always going to be important and read by others differently to you. Understanding that this is a journey through communication, which is key. Thinking about the importance of the sculpture and people interacting with it for the first time, I hope that they see that this is a journey that off this footpath and walking down to this piece, that they might let go of some things even before they start interacting and discovering in this space, in this sacred space, because it is a sacred space. And to hear stories and to interact and to respond to such a horrific time in our country's history, and understand that we today are creating a better future, hopefully through the decisions in which we make together, but also the decisions that they make as individuals. And that they will see the beauty in our culture and the strength and the resilience, but also the softness of an individual's voice. And to be able to hear that quiet conversation in a very loud and busy world, that this is a place of solace, that this is a place of quiet reflection, but one to be shared.